Last year, several teachers and staff from across the district met with the goal of taking a deeper look at writing. We wanted to take the Kentucky academic standards for writing and do a couple things with them. We wanted to, number one, clearly list what skills students must have at each grade level. The writing standards are written well, but there's a lot of information, often even just within one of the standards. We also wanted to make these skills, these standards, easier for teachers and students to understand quickly. You'll see every skill in this guide outlined as students can, instead of just a general statement. We also wanted to clearly list what skills and vocabulary are new between grade levels. Big ideas stay the same between grades, but most transitions between grade levels feature some new skill that students need to know. For example, 5th graders must be able to write opinion pieces. Then 6th graders sort of start fresh by needing to write argumentative pieces, where they need to state a claim, provide reasons and evidence to support those reasons. 7th graders build on those ideas. They have to know the same thing and be able to do the same things as 6th graders, but they must be able to provide a counterclaim, with that counterclaim being the new skill for them to demonstrate. Each grade is also getting new vocabulary words that tie into these skills. While they probably heard terms like claim, evidence, sources, and formal style in 5th grade or maybe even before that, technically the standards don't require 5th grade teachers to use them. So technically it may be the first time that 6th graders are seeing terms like claim, reasons, and evidence. It's okay if students learn ideas and vocabulary earlier in their learning, but knowing exactly what the standards say that student must be ready to do in a grade level gives us an idea of what they're probably going to be tested on, what they're going to be expected to demonstrate. Looking at testing, we see that writing, or at least these terms from writing instruction, are being incorporated into just about every subject area. 6th graders don't have a writing test at the end of the year, but the reading test goes ahead and pulls in these new vocabulary terms like claim and evidence that they're expected to not only know at the end of 6th grade, but be able to apply to their work and in their writing. Here's a question for 6th graders from the sample test nav test that uses claim, and again, this is from the reading sample test. The next one asks them to pull evidence from the text and use it in writing. Science is another example of this happening. In 7th grade, claim is used in this science question, and on the 7th grade practice test, it's used in 4 out of 8 sample questions that show up. Obviously, claim is a term that comes up in language arts and science instruction anyway, but both subject areas and their teachers intentionally highlighting it over and over is going to make kids more likely to be able to both know the meaning of the term and apply it when the pressure is on. Here's another example where evidence appears in one of the 7th grade science test questions. And here's an example of them doing writing in the 7th grade science test. We all know that students are going to be expected to do writing in every test, but they're also going to be expected to pull in some of that writing vocabulary to those test questions too. Last year, teachers went through and created a list of writing instruction that is happening in their classroom. And we're already doing a fantastic job of incorporating writing instruction everywhere. So today we really only have 2 quick goals. Number 1, we want to refresh on what writing and writing related skills students need to know. And number 2, we want to identify any weak or just extremely challenging areas of writing instruction so that we can put some extra attention on those areas in our 5th period and in our writing that we're doing in our classes across the subject areas. To do that quickly, we're just going to run through each of the writing standards using Nearpod here. Pay special attention when we're looking at these standards to the new skills and new vocabulary for your grade level, and answer the question that appears on screen after each standard. We'll take the data after this that we gather and see if we can identify any strengths or weaknesses from that data.